The rise of the Turkic Bloc, driven by the strategic developments within the Organization of Turkic States, marks its 15th anniversary, bringing a transformative moment in global geopolitics. At the 10th anniversary summit of the OTS in Kazakhstan, leaders adopted the slogan Turkic Era and committed to closer cooperation in defense and security. It is preparing to host its 11th Leaders Summit on the 6th of November, 2024 in Kyrgyzstan. With its newly founded Turkic Investment Fund, the OTS aims at establishing a broader integration within the Turkic world. Ambassador Baghdad Amreyev, the president of the TIF and former Secretary General of the OTS, recently said that the new target for the OTS is economic integration. The OTS has its origins in the early 1990s, following the dissolution of the Soviet Union. With the emergence of independent nations like Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Kyrgyzstan, along with Turkey, these countries began organizing summits to foster cooperation based on shared linguistic and cultural ties. These gatherings, known as the Summits of Turkic-speaking states, mark the beginning of a formal process aimed at strengthening relationships among the Turkic-speaking countries. The process of institutionalizing this cooperation took a significant step on the 3rd of October 2009 when Turkey, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan signed the Nakhchivan Agreement, establishing the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states, commonly referred to as the Turkic Council. This council aimed to enhance multilateral cooperation across political, economic, and cultural domains, with its headquarters based in Istanbul. Over the years, the Turkic Council expanded its reach and influence, with Uzbekistan joining as a full member in 2019 and Hungary being granted observer status in 2018. The organization's scope of cooperation grew, reflecting the shared goals of its member states. This evolution culminated in November 2021 when, during the 8th Summit in Istanbul, the Council was rebranded as OTS. This change not only reflected a broader vision for the organization, but also marked the adoption of the Turkic World Vision 2040, a roadmap outlining long-term objectives for the member states. The OTS has continued to adapt to the changing geopolitical landscape. In 2022, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus was welcomed as an observer, signaling the organization's commitment to broadening its membership and influence. The 2023 Extraordinary Summit, held in Ankara, further underscored the OTS's growing relevance with the establishment of the Turkic Investment Fund and the Civil Protection Mechanism. These initiatives were introduced in response to the devastating earthquakes that hit Turkey, highlighting the organization's role in regional disaster management and humanitarian aid. Today, the OTS serves as a vital platform for deepening ties between Turkic-speaking nations, building on a foundation of shared history, language, and culture. With its secretariat in Istanbul and Kubanichbek Omuraliev as its current Secretary General, the organization continues to pursue its mission of fostering solidarity and cooperation, ensuring that the Turkic world remains a cohesive and dynamic force in international relations. One of the most significant strengths of the OTS is its role in global energy security, especially for Europe. As Europe looks to diversify its energy sources in the wake of reduced reliance on Russia, OTS members like Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan play pivotal roles. Azerbaijan's southern gas corridor and Turkmenistan's vast natural gas reserves are crucial arteries, delivering energy to European markets and enhancing regional and global energy security. The Turkic world holds significant energy resources, with major contributions from countries like Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. Kazakhstan is the largest oil producer in Central Asia, producing about 1.8 million barrels per day as of 2021, making it the 9th largest oil exporter globally. Kazakhstan also holds significant natural gas reserves and exports around 32.7 billion cubic meters of gas annually, mainly to China and Russia. Azerbaijan, another key player, produces around 700,000 barrels of oil per day, largely driven by its rich Caspian Sea oil reserves. The country plays a strategic role in global energy security, especially with its pipelines transporting oil and gas to Europe, reducing the continent's dependence on Russian energy. These nations are critical to the global energy market, not only due to their significant oil and gas output, but also because of their strategic location for pipelines, particularly in light of ongoing geopolitical shifts. This positions the Turkic countries as vital contributors to energy security, especially for Europe. The Russia-Ukraine war has significantly shifted Europe's energy strategy, forcing the continent to diversify its energy sources and reduce its dependence on Russian supplies. In this context, the Turkic world, especially Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan, has become increasingly critical to Europe's energy security. The EU is not only deepening its partnerships with these nations, but also investing heavily in infrastructure to secure alternative energy routes. Azerbaijan has emerged as a key supplier of natural gas to Europe, thanks largely to the Southern Gas Corridor, which includes the Trans-Adriatic Pipeline and Trans-Anatolian Natural Gas Pipeline. These pipelines, which bypass Russia, have become vital to European energy security. In July 2022, the EU signed an agreement with Azerbaijan to double gas imports to 20 billion cubic meters by 2027, signaling a long-term commitment to the country's role in the energy market. To support this expansion, the EU has pledged investments of over 2 billion euros in Azerbaijan's energy infrastructure. Turkmenistan, with its vast natural gas reserves, is an observer member of the OTS. The country's energy resources have long been of strategic interest to both Europe and Asia, and its inclusion in OTS opens new opportunities for energy cooperation. Turkmenistan's potential involvement in energy projects like the Trans-Caspian gas pipeline could play a significant role in further securing Europe's energy needs. Its participation also signals a potential for deeper political and economic ties with the other Turkic nations, enhancing regional cooperation. With the fourth largest natural gas reserves globally, Turkmenistan holds enormous potential for Europe's energy security. The EU has long considered the Trans-Caspian gas pipeline, which would connect Turkmenistan to Europe through Azerbaijan, a crucial project. The EU has expressed renewed interest in the pipeline in light of the Russia-Ukraine war, with an estimated 1 billion euros earmarked for feasibility studies and initial infrastructure investments. Kazakhstan, with its vast oil reserves, is another crucial player in Europe's energy diversification strategy. Kazakhstan supplies oil via the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, and while this route passes through Russia, Kazakhstan is exploring alternative export routes to avoid reliance on Russian infrastructure. The EU has shown interest in financing projects that could support Kazakhstan's oil exports via Azerbaijan, particularly through the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. These projects are estimated to attract hundreds of millions of euros in European investments over the next decade. In total, the EU plans to invest more than 5 billion euros in energy infrastructure projects across the Turkic world in the very short term, particularly in projects like the Southern Gas Corridor, the Trans-Caspian Gas Pipeline, and other initiatives in Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. These investments are part of the EU's broader effort to secure alternative energy sources and reduce dependence on Russian gas. The European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development are key partners in financing these projects, which aim to modernize and expand existing pipeline systems and explore new routes. In an interview for Harici, Dr. Ömer Kocaman, Deputy Secretary General of the OTS, told the author that the EU promised a 300 billion euro investment to the Turkic world in the spring of 2024, the majority of which will be utilized for energy infrastructures in the long term. Uzbekistan, under the leadership of Shavkat Mirziyoyev, has emerged as a dynamic force within the OTS and the broader Central Asian region. Since taking office in 2016, Mirziyoyev has spearheaded comprehensive economic reforms aimed at opening the country to international markets, fostering foreign investment, and modernizing various sectors. These reforms are transforming Uzbekistan into a critical player in the Middle Corridor, serving as a vital transit hub for goods and energy flowing between Europe and Asia. Key examples of Uzbekistan's development include economic liberalization, infrastructure modernization, energy sector reforms, and foreign investments. One of Mirziyoyev's most significant reforms was the liberalization of Uzbekistan's currency, the som, in 2017. By allowing the currency to float freely, Uzbekistan attracted foreign investors who were previously hesitant due to the restrictive financial environment. Uzbekistan has invested heavily in upgrading its transportation and logistical infrastructure. Projects such as the development of railways connecting Uzbekistan to China, Kazakhstan, and other Turkic states have strengthened its position as a central node in the Trans-Caspian international transport route, facilitating faster and more efficient trade. Uzbekistan has also focused on energy, particularly in renewable energy projects such as solar and wind farms. In addition, the country is a key exporter of natural gas and is actively seeking to modernize its energy infrastructure to meet growing regional demand and boost exports. Under Mirziyoyev, Uzbekistan has created a more business-friendly environment by reducing taxes, offering incentives to foreign investors, and simplifying bureaucratic processes. As a result, the country has seen a surge in foreign direct investment, particularly in sectors like textiles, mining, and agriculture. These efforts have positioned Uzbekistan as a rising leader in trade and connectivity within the OTS, further advancing the economic and geopolitical goals of the broader Turkic bloc. Besides, during an official visit to the Embassy of Uzbekistan in Ankara, along with the Global Journalism Council delegation, Ambassador Alisher Azamhokayev told the author that Uzbekistan established the first ever journalism and mass communication university in the country. This can be considered as one of the milestones for journalistic development and freedom of the press for a country that breaks off from its conservative legacy from the Soviet Union. Turkey's leadership and growing influence in the OTS. As the largest and most influential member of the OTS, Turkey plays a pivotal role in shaping the bloc's strategic direction. Under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's leadership, Turkey has been the driving force behind strengthening ties between Turkic nations, fostering closer political, economic, and military collaboration. Turkey's active support for Azerbaijan's Karabakh victory, its strategic position in the Middle Corridor, and its leadership in energy transit have solidified its role as the powerhouse of the OTS. Turkey played a critical role in Azerbaijan's victory in the Second Karabakh War in 2020, providing diplomatic, political, and military support, especially with the role of training by Turkish armed forces and TB2 Bayraktar unmanned aerial vehicles produced in Turkey. This victory not only boosted Azerbaijan's regional position, but also bolstered the collective confidence of Turkic nations in their shared strength and unity. President Erdogan emphasized the significance of this victory, saying, "It is a matter of pride that the operation was successfully completed in a short period of time." This collective achievement has since inspired greater cooperation within the OTS. He has referred to this cooperation as a testament to the Turkic Brotherhood and its growing influence on the global stage. Besides, Turkey is a critical player in the Middle Corridor, which connects East Asia to Europe via Central Asia, the Caucasus, and Turkey. This corridor has gained new importance, especially after the disruption of trade routes caused by the Russia-Ukraine war and the Israel-Gaza war, as alternatives to the Northern Corridor via Russia and the Maritime Silk Road via the Red Sea are being sought. Turkey's strategic investments in trade infrastructure, such as new railways and port expansions, have made it a pivotal link between East and West. Erdogan has stressed that the Middle Corridor enhances the economic interconnectivity of OTS nations and opens European and Asian markets. As a key energy transit hub, Turkey facilitates the export of energy from the Caspian Basin, notably Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan, to European markets. Projects like the Trans-Anatolian Natural Gas Pipeline showcase Turkey's role in ensuring energy security for itself and Europe. Erdogan noted Turkey's strategic energy role during not only OTS summits, but also in several energy events, stating, "Turkey is described as the Silk Road of energy by experts." The pipeline is a vital part of the Southern Gas Corridor, which has reduced Europe's dependency on Russian gas since its operationalization. Hungary's role as an observer member of the OTS, and now its presidency of the EU in 2024, is pivotal for fostering cooperation between Europe and the Turkic world. Hungary has established itself as a bridge between these regions, leveraging historical and cultural ties with the Turkic states. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has frequently underscored the growing importance of the Turkic world, particularly in light of global energy security concerns following the Russia-Ukraine war. Orbán highlighted Hungary's commitment to strengthening energy ties with Turkic countries such as Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Uzbekistan. This collaboration aligns with Hungary's strategy to ensure energy security and independence. As the rotating president of the EU, Hungary has a unique opportunity to deepen EU OTS relations in areas such as energy security, trade, and cultural diplomacy. Orbán referred to the OTS as a vital pillar in maintaining East-West cooperation, emphasizing the geopolitical importance of these partnerships. Hungary has contributed to OTS discussions through agreements on energy and trade, positioning itself as an advocate for Turkic world interests in European forums. In doing so, Hungary could act as a key interlocutor between the EU and the OTS, especially as Europe seeks to diversify its energy sources post-Russia-Ukraine conflict. Hungary's role in the OTS not only strengthens the cooperation between Turkic states and Europe, but also positions the Turkic Bloc as a critical player in global energy security and international politics. As Hungary takes over the EU presidency in 2024, this collaboration is expected to further intensify, presenting significant opportunities for both Europe and the Turkic states. The Middle Corridor, also known as the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, has emerged as a key geostrategic route connecting China to Europe, bypassing Russia. The corridor travels through China, Central Asia, the Caspian Sea, the South Caucasus, and Turkey, before reaching Europe. This route significantly alters global logistics and trade by offering an alternative to the traditional Northern Corridor, which primarily relies on Russian infrastructure. The Middle Corridor begins in China's Xinjiang region, passes through Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan to the Caspian Sea, then continues through Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Turkey, ultimately reaching European markets. It integrates important infrastructure like the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway and key ports such as Baku and Poti. As a gateway between Asia and Europe, Turkey plays a pivotal role in the Middle Corridor. The BTK Railway is a joint project between Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, facilitating faster and more efficient trade across the Eurasian landmass. Turkey is also integral in bridging energy and trade between Central Asia, the Caucasus, and Europe. Before the rise of the Middle Corridor, the dominant trade routes were the Northern Corridor, which passes through Russia, and the Southern Corridor, which traverses Iran. However, with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, many countries are seeking alternative routes to ensure safe and uninterrupted trade. Unlike the Northern Corridor, the Middle Corridor bypasses Russia, offering a neutral route that avoids current geopolitical tensions and therefore provides geopolitical neutrality. Besides, it provides Central Asian and Turkic states, such as Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, greater access to European markets and vice versa, and creates trade diversification. The war has drastically altered global trade routes. The Middle Corridor has gained prominence as European and Asian nations seek to bypass Russian-controlled infrastructure. This shift has led to an increase in investments and strategic interest from both governments and the private sector. The Middle Corridor is not just a trade route, but a comprehensive infrastructure project that includes railways, ports, logistic hubs, and energy projects. The BTK railway is a key part of this route, connecting the South Caucasus with European rail networks. Critical ports like the port of Baku and the port of Poti are being expanded to handle increased trade volume. Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan are developing logistics hubs, such as the Korgos Gateway, to facilitate smoother cross-border trade. The corridor also includes energy pipelines that transport oil and gas from the Caspian region to Europe. The development of this route is a strategic priority for the countries involved, as it promises to increase their geopolitical relevance, enhance economic cooperation, and ensure long-term stability in global trade networks. The development of the Middle Corridor brings several changes to global trade and logistics. The corridor reduces transit time from China to Europe to approximately 15 days, a significant improvement over traditional sea routes, which can take over 40 days. The corridor facilitates the movement of oil, gas, and other raw materials from Central Asia to Europe, ensuring energy diversification, particularly for countries seeking to reduce their reliance on Russian energy supplies. Countries along the corridor, including Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Azerbaijan, are better integrated into global trade networks. The rise in trade volume through the BTK railway has underscored the increasing economic potential of the route. The Turkic World Vision 2040 outlines a strategic framework designed to enhance cooperation and solidarity among Turkic states across multiple domains, focusing on security, intelligence, energy, economic development, and regional cooperation. The vision document emphasizes building a network for cooperation and information sharing among member states to combat threats like radicalization, terrorism, and transnational organized crime. The focus is on ensuring border security and establishing multilateral communication channels for migration and humanitarian response. In the field of intelligence and law enforcement, the document advocates for effective coordination among national institutions to address threats, including cybercrime, illicit arms trade, and human trafficking. The vision also calls for enhanced collaboration on cybersecurity, establishing a common platform to address regional challenges and security risks related to digital infrastructure. Even though not disclosed much, the cooperation in intelligence and security is proven by often official visits. One of the last was recorded on September 12, 2024, when Hakan Fidan, Minister of Foreign Affairs, along with Ali Yerlikaya, Minister of Interior, and Ibrahim Kalin, Director of Turkish Intelligence Service, paid an official visit to Uzbekistan. Energy cooperation is a critical pillar of the vision, where member states aim to create a strategic partnership in the energy sector. This involves the coordination of policies, promoting energy trade, and joint investments. The goal is to transition from a pure supplier-consumer relationship to a technology-based collaboration that supports energy security and diversification, with a focus on clean and green energy sources such as solar, wind, and bioenergy. Large-scale energy projects, including the BTC and Southern Gas Corridor, are highlighted as key regional initiatives that enhance energy security for both member states and global markets. At the 2023 Extraordinary Summit in Ankara, OTS member states emphasized the need for joint investments in energy infrastructure, particularly in enhancing energy transit routes. Investments in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and grid modernization were also highlighted as priorities for the region. The vision also outlines a strategy to transform the Turkic states into a vigorous regional economic group, linking east-west and north-south trade corridors. The focus is on increasing trade volumes, facilitating customs harmonization, and establishing seamless transport corridors, particularly the Trans-Caspian International East-West Middle Corridor. The Turkic states aim to reduce dependency on foreign currencies in trade, encouraging the use of national currencies. Moreover, fostering startups, digitalization, and innovation is emphasized, along with industrial harmonization and economic zone integration to strengthen intra-regional economic ties. Regional cooperation under the Turkic World Vision aims to enhance multilateral political consultations on international and regional issues, promoting political solidarity and mutual support among the member states. The vision stresses the importance of institutional reforms in areas like governance, legal infrastructure, and public service delivery to ensure sustainable development. The Turkic states also aim to function as a cohesive bloc that engages constructively with international organizations such as the United Nations, the EU, and regional actors like the Visegrad Group. This cooperation extends to joint efforts in education, health, and tourism, facilitating people-to-people interactions and cultural exchanges. In summary, the Turkic World Vision 2040 lays the foundation for a strengthened Turkic bloc, focusing on regional security, energy partnerships, economic integration, and institutional development, all while actively participating in the global governance system to promote peace, stability, and sustainable development.